Okay, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hanging with Mangg, the new series where I just ramble for about an hour about all sorts of stuff, but generally board games and women. So we're going to be playing some Shadow of Mordor today because it's a fantastic game, and actually that's the only reason, yeah. It's a fantastic game. I actually wanted to kind of record the next episode of the LP before recording this, but it's fine. So we're just going to be doing all sorts of side fun stuff, which is fun. Okay, so... Alright, I got quite a bit to talk about actually today, surprisingly. Actually, I should probably have a goal in mind here. Here, I'll go do this. Well, it's October now. I think it was October last week. But so I've started my October tradition, which includes watching all sorts of horror movies, but also includes watching a single show every single year. I rewatch a show called Scariest Places on Earth. And this is a show that aired probably like 10 years ago on ABC Family. And this is another one of the shows where they kind of just it is what it says. They go around, they show off these haunted places and stuff like that, and then they have people telling their stories and crap like that. Normally, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I don't believe in ghosts or any of that nonsense. That's retarded, alright? It's fine if you believe in it, like believing in anything else, but from my perspective, it's kind of dumb. Because there's, like, no rules to it. It's just like, some ghosts can just shove you, some ghosts can cut you, some ghosts just whisper in your ear delicately. Some places are haunted because people died there, but then 95% of hospitals in America are not haunted because nobody dies. Like, that's besides the point. The point is, though, I don't generally like these kind of shows because they're presented as such like a factual, matter-of-fact, level-headed perspective. Like, it's perfectly normal that ghosts exist. We're just going to go and we're going to check out some of them. It's going to be great. That's basically how they're presented. Stuff like Ghost Adventures and, crap like that, where they bust out, like, ENF meters or whatever, and it's just... Don't even get me started on that crap. I can't stand it. And my brother watches a show called The Haunting, which is the worst offender, because that show basically has these people come on with their stories, and they like dramatize it. So they'll have actors come in and kind of just recreate it. But basically what it turns out to be is just a really shitty Mang's movie. So I could never watch that. But the reason that I like Scariest Places on Earth, other than nostalgia, is it's presented in such an over-the-top fashion that you can't help but just be entertained. It's so ridiculous that it's amazing. And so... So it's edited and it's just presented in a way where they either think that you don't believe in ghosts and this is just pure entertainment, or you're a complete moron. That's basically how it's presented. I think they have no respect for their audience whatsoever. So Though, I mean, I like it in some aspects because it shows just a lot of cool different areas and stuff like that, and you just get to hear these kind of interesting stories, and some of them are factual in a sense. You know, or like I think one episode they went to like Lizzie Borden's house or something like that, and it's kind of cool because it's like, okay, that was the house where Lizzie Borden was. It's something I probably really wouldn't look up, but then, okay, there it is. You know, they'll do stuff like that occasionally. And, or they'll show, you know, abandoned penitentiaries and things like that. And, you know, a lot of shows do that, but I like how they present it. It's fine. But the way they edit things, it's okay. Like, one example early on in the show, they go to the Pine Barrens in Jersey, which is the home of the supposed Jersey Devil. And so they follow this intrepid group known as the Devil Hunters or something like that, who are just trying to hunt down the Jersey Devil. And so they go out there, they take the camera crew out there into the woods with them. And that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, it's probably not the best game for this, but they follow the crew out there. And they mainly follow the main chick. She's the leader of the group, I guess. And well, this could work. No, I don't want to go in. I don't want to be in the cage. And they're just kind of roaming around there, and they bring in like one of the ancestors of the place and stuff like that, and he's telling his story and crap like that, and it's okay. And then nightfall hits, and they're like, oh, you know, we're gonna find something out here now. Oh shit. And they edit it in a way that the main chick apparently sees something when she's by herself, and she starts to like run across the field in like a fright. And yeah, get on, I'm out of here. And then like they just cut back to her just like sitting in the car, just like shaking her head in her lap, and the text is like, and she refuses to this day to talk about what she saw. And it's just like, nothing happened. It's so bullshit, but it's just like presented in a way that is just like, oh my god, what did she see? She saw the Jersey Devil. And then you go on like the actual page, like the web page for that the Jersey Devil Hunter group, and the girl talks about the experience and what happened, and she's just like, yeah, so like somebody found like a moose carcass, and so that's what I was running towards, because you know they called it out, and so I was curious, so I was running towards that. So they used that footage, even though she was running towards something. Oh, that's right, I was doing a mission. And then she's like, I didn't see anything, they just used some footage of me sitting there shaking my head at something. It's just like, okay, that's wonderful. Oh, why are you looking over there, son? Oh my god. That was a kill from above, too. Look at that.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, basically the whole show is entertaining bullshit. But the best part is they basically, throughout every like 5-6 episodes or so, they build up towards their big event. And their big event is they take a family to like a castle generally. Or like a haunted plantation. They take them to like a big location. Like a really haunted location. And so they build this up with the family talking about it, and they're always so happy and carefree at the start. They're like, I I don't really believe in this. I don't think anything's gonna happen. And then it cuts to them like from the location, you know, later on, and they're like running in the dark, screaming in terror and stuff like that. So it's just like, oh yeah, something's gonna happen. And so the family's all happy, and they really build this up. And then they have the episode that's devoted entirely to it. So they'll have the episode where all it is they go to this location, and they each have cameras and stuff, and they go through the place and blah, blah, blah. These are the best parts of the show, because there's one guy. There's one guy named Alan Robson. He's from the UK. I think he's like a radio jockey or something like that. This guy is so over the top with everything. Like, either he's an incredible actor or he believes everything that he says out of his mouth. But this guy makes the show for me, because he's like, he'll be talking about the place that this family's going to go to, and it'll be just like, they say that Chillingham Castle is the place that God forgot. And then it'll cut to like this old lady psychic checking out the place, and she'll just be like, oh, I can feel evil in this place. I can feel it in me bones. And then it cuts back to the Alan Robson, and he's like, when so much anguish and terror has occurred in one place, that doesn't just go away. That stays there forever. And then it cuts back to the psychic, and she's walking out of the room with her hands in her hair. She's like, I can't stay here any longer. There's too much evil here. And then it cuts back to Alan. He's like, when a family brings joy into a place like that, and they think that it won't just get sucked away like light into darkness. And it's so incredible. I love everything about it. That guy is awesome. And so yeah, that show is hard to find. They used to rerun it every year. I don't think they do that anymore. And there's no DVDs. It's really hard to find. I found a torrent of it at one point. I think some episodes are on iTunes. But yeah, just fantastic show if you don't really believe in any of that. If you do believe in it, then there are probably better shows for you to watch that present it in a bit more believable of a manner. But yeah, love Scariest Places on Earth. Like, literally one of the greatest moments of my life. Like, you know, they say there are a few moments in your life that you'll just remember forever, like your wedding day and holding your first child, blah, blah, blah. There's a moment for me, Saturday afternoon when I'm like 14 or 15, sitting at home, eating Wendy's and watching Scariest Places on Earth. And I was literally in bliss. Like, I was in ecstasy or something. There was something so perfect about it. I can't even describe it. I will never forget that moment of how perfect everything in life was. But yeah, so that's Scariest Places on Earth. I saw Annabelle as part of, well, there's a story about that later, but I saw it, but I'm not going to review it because I think I might talk about it on Admit 1. What else is going on here? What is this? Oh, plus 50. Oh, Power Struggle. Let's do that. Okay, so moving on to board games then, because we all love that. I did make a few purchases. What did I buy? I bought a bunch of stuff. I bought a game called, I don't know what I've talked about when I haven't talked about, but I bought a game called Skull. It used to be called Skulls and Roses, but now it's called Skull. And it's just a pure bluffing game. It's kind of like poker in a vague aspect, but poker sucks and Skull doesn't. And we played that quite a bit. There are talks that it may even be better than Coup. I'm not sure about that entirely, and I think the Coup expansion will put that out of its league. But Skull is definitely a lot of fun. It's a perfect beer and pretzels game. Just, you don't have to be paying too much attention. You're just kind of sitting there. You can be snacking because there's no cards. It's just big, heavy coasters. And, yeah, it's a really fun game. I recommend Skull. We played that some today, some the other night. Okay, what has this guy got? Vulnerable. Ooh, stealth. Invulnerable to ranged. Okay, well, a good thing I didn't shoot him. All right, we gotta kill this guy. Has he got? Okay, we gotta get over there. Gotta get over there quick. Yeah, Skull was great. What else did I play? I played Dead of Winter again since last time. And we played it with like that betrayal variant-ish that I talked about. And we did have a betrayer, but we played a short game. I think it's better if you play a longer scenario where things can really get kind of deep and intriguing. If you play it real quick, shit just kind of ends. But I definitely like that game. I definitely want to play it quite a bit more. It's a solid game. Oh, I should have brutalized him. Shit. Well, you did. Died. See, I don't think he died permanently. But he died. And I think I got a new power tier. Okay, so Skull was good. Dead of Winter is good. Pretty much everything I buy nowadays is very good. What else did we play? Played Lost Legacy, which is kind of a pseudo-sequel to Love Letter. I'm not sure if it's better than Love Letter at this point in time. We played it at a bar, and, you know, some people are slightly intoxicated, so it's going to require a bit more attempts to see if it's better than Love Letter, but it's very similar. Upgrades, okay. Not enough ability points. All right. We played. I think that was about it until today. I bought Mage Knight, the board game. And this one I was debating about for a while because it's a bit expensive. It really is. But it's pretty massive, and it's heralded as just like the deepest solo board game experience you can have. And I don't really have any solo board games. And I'm fine with, you know, complexity out the ass more than pretty much anybody else. I was like, all right, I'm going to pull the plug. Why not? Mage Knight, the board game. So I ordered it. I spent like an hour and a half with it. I'm still learning the rules. They are deep and complex, but it is very well designed. I cannot argue with that. Oh, I need to attract things. Right. Oh, I couldn't attract him. I had to brutalize him. So yeah, I'm going to require some bit more time with that to give a final verdict. But, yeah, what a concept. I'd rather play a board game by myself than play video games, apparently. Very interesting. I also ordered... Come to think about it, I ordered 2 Vlado Cavato games this week. So I ordered Mage Knight, and then I also ordered Space Alert. Because I wanted one real-time board game. And it was between Space Alert and Escape from the Cursed Temple or something like that. And I went with Space Alert because I prefer a space theme compared to just a... I don't know what kind of theme you'd call that. A archaeological theme, I suppose. And so Space Alert is for 5 players, and basically it's a real-time game where shit is happening to your ship, and you need to sort it out. And so there's a lot of yelling as shit just gets worse and worse, and that really appealed to me. I like games that involve yelling. I think that's great. But that's a bit of a process to learn. So that's going to just require one of those, a Saturday board game day where everybody's just cool with playing Space Alert for a few hours. Because there's a lot of mechanics going on in that game, as in most Vlado Cavato games, apparently. What else?
You should keep your distance from me. I don't like the sound of that.
Oh, that was good. What else? I ordered Masquerade. I got Masquerade, but we haven't had a chance to play that. I ordered Battle of the Five Armies as my wedding gift for Ziggy and his fiance. That is a wedding gift that really only Mangg could give. Well, I guess, you know, other people could do it, but that is something that I would give, I guess. I don't need to attract this guy. I can just kill him. So he's a gigantic Lord of the Rings fan. It's a 2-player game. It's very highly acclaimed. I figured, and he said that he wanted it, so I figured perfect gift. And then finally, I got Android Netrunner. Aha. Some of you may have heard of this, maybe not. This is a 2-player asymmetrical card game from the designer of Magic the Gathering, Richard Garfield. And for one, I'm not a Magic the Gathering fan. I know the basics of it, but it's never something I would really pick up at this point. It's just, okay. I'd probably just play Hearthstone. But this Android Netrunner is number 6 on Board Game Geek, which I take into account. I've heard about it a shit ton. Shut Up and Sit Down, they talk about it quite a bit. And I was just like, a lot of people are talking about this. It's pretty cheap to get the core set. It's like $30. And I asked Ziggy, I was like, would you play this with me if I got it? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So I was like, fine, we'll try it. So I pulled the plug, I got the core set for $30. And of course, I learned all the rules fastidiously, as I do every game. You'd think I would win more board games among my group because I'm the only one that knows all the rules, and yet that's not the case, unfortunately, at all. I feel like Will Wheaton sometimes, but so I learned all the rules for Netrunner, and I was like, this seems kind of cool, to be honest, because I really like the theme. That was probably what made me get it in the end, was the theme. It's basically Shadowrun the card game. Cyberpunk, a hacker hacking into some corporation servers and shit like that. That's pretty much end-all, be-all for theme for me. Really into it. So we played it, and I've played it now with Ziggy a couple times, Mert a couple times, and Studs. And I think I've only won once. But I really dig it, I gotta say. I really love the asymmetrical, gameplay. I love the theme. I love how everything comes together. It's very well designed. It's just good fun. The rest of them are not as crazy about it because they don't know all the rules. They're basically just going off what I tell them, and I'm not the greatest teacher, unfortunately. And okay, that's Felgrot. I need Humgrot. What you doing? There you are. Wow, he's got a lot of shit. Power 20. Wow. But he doesn't like being burned. Might be able to work that. Oh, I'm avenging somebody. Okay. They don't know all the rules, and I think a major part of the entertainment of Netrunner is building your own deck. And in Hearthstone, I don't care for that shit, really. I think it's kind of shallow and not very interesting. But in Netrunner, already I see the appeal of deck building because there's just so many options. And you get to combine faction cards. So you get to add faction cards from one into another deck. So it's kind of like in Hearthstone putting hunter cards into a paladin deck. Like, it's bananas. And that's really cool. So basically, we've just been playing with the starter decks and a couple decks that I put together. So they had no input in it. But I really like it. I want to play more of it. So I'm hoping that they will continue playing, because otherwise I have to go to, like, tournaments and stuff. That's not great. I'm not that kind of person. This is going to be tough. He's a power 20. Berserkers counter normal attacks, stun them with circle before attacking. Great. And he just threw some shit at me, which did a hell of a lot of damage. I don't know if I'm going to be able to avenge this guy.
Such pleasure. To me, at least. Not so sure about you.
Get your mug out of my face, man. Ow. Ow! I'd say this is a no-win scenario. And I believe in them. Hey, you might help. Actually, no. He slays monsters. He's just powerful, man. Get owned. So, yeah, Netrunner. There's not a whole lot I can say about it. I've only played like 5 games so far, but I desperately want to play more. And so I'm telling the other guys, like, anytime you want to stop by my house and play some Netrunner, I will drop what I'm doing, because I dig it. But I don't know if they will, so we'll see. But I recommend it to all you if you're looking for a slightly complex 2-player card game. You don't have, like, there's a bunch of expansion packs, data packs, new cards, and all that, but really there's nothing wrong with just grabbing the core set for $30, because there's plenty of variety just in that. Okay, so then for the board game day today, we played some Skull, and then ho, the stars aligned. We had 5 people for the group today. 5 people. I couldn't believe it. My mouth hung open, because it was the first time we've had 5 people since I started collecting board games, and I was like, we are busting out Cosmic Encounter. And so we did, my friends. Cosmic Encounter is the game that I talked about in the first Hanging with Mangg, I think. This is the game of space warfare and negotiation, which has been around for many, many years. And really, I pretty much only wanted to play with 5 people, because that's apparently the best number. And so we had 5, and I was like, all right, let's do it. This game, oh my god. Like, I knew it was Tom Vassel's number 1. I knew about that. And I knew it's very well received by a lot of people. It's got quite the acclaim, but man, that game is... When those guys designed that shit, they knew what they had. They knew what they were doing. 'Cause damn. And we all loved it. All 5 of us. We're just like... We played a second game immediately after the first one. Even though, like, Mert really didn't have time for it, he did, because we liked it so much. Oh, he didn't like that too much. Although I did hurt him. That was good.
I will rot of your death, your very last breath.
You a fat orc.
You're too weak.
I don't know if I killed him with... I punched him in the chest. That wouldn't kill me. But okay. Cosmic Encounter. Yes. So, man, fantastic. It's not even like that complicated. It's really not. Like, we picked it up quick. And we were in the midst of thing. We were yelling. We were negotiating. We were... The 50 freaking aliens and just... Oh my god. I don't have much to say about it other than if you like board games, and you can get 5 people. Like, if your regular group is 5 people, there's no reason you shouldn't check out Cosmic Encounter. For us, you know, I don't know when we're going to get 5 again, but yeah, oh man. That's where it's at. I remember, like, a review that I read of it where it just said board gaming nirvana, and I'm like, I don't know if that's far off, man. It's good. It's very good. I would have played that for the rest of the day. I would have played that for another, like, 8 hours, whatever. So, yeah, that was very entertaining. I think the other board games I have coming are Mundus Novus. It's not a game that I hear talked about too much, but Shut Up and Sit Down talks about it quite a bit. I've heard that it's very well designed from other things, and it's a 3 to 6 player that's a bit lighter, so I'm always on the lookout for stuff like that. I have plenty of big, heavy games. And I ordered another game that I'm not even sure I can remember. I'm really not sure. I just order shit, man. What the hell is that nasty ass thing? Shit, what did I order? I need to, like, find out. Like, I can't just leave it at that. Let me just look it up here. No, not that. Oh, Letters from Whitechapel. That's right. Oh, okay. Yes. That brings me to another subject. So, there's a mutual acquaintance among our group of friends that I don't really like. I just don't care for him. You know how it is. And he's having a Halloween party on the 18th. And the last party I went to at his house was really lame. Just shit. So I was like, I don't want to go to this. It's going to be terrible. So I was like, oh, bummer, I can't go. It's the same night as my annual Halloween board game night. And so yeah, I'm having a Halloween board game night. So we're gonna play like Dead of Winter, Werewolf, One Night Ultimate Werewolf, stuff like that. And so I figured I needed another kind of thematic game, and so I ordered Letters from Whitechapel, which is a very thematic game apparently, in which one player plays as Jack the Ripper, and the other players play as cops trying to find Jack the Ripper. And so Jack the Ripper basically is the king of hidden information in that game. He gets like a hideout that's hidden, and then his movements are hidden. He's like writing them on a piece of paper that the others don't get to see. And so he's trying to commit like 5 murders or something like that, and then get back to his hideout without the cops catching him. And so the cops know when a murder's been committed, but they don't know where he exactly is. And so they need to discuss it, and they need to like break their group and search and, you know, make a perimeter and all sorts of shit like that. And apparently it's very exciting, very thematic, very interesting. And so I was like, I gotta order this. It was a bit expensive. It was more than I really wanted to pay for it, but I was like, this is the game that's gonna make my Halloween board game night. And so it shall. So yeah, I just like spending money, really. I'm very wealthy. I don't know if I ever mentioned that to you all, but I have just a massive inheritance that's being spent on board games. I don't know. But anyways, I think that's all the board game discussion I really have. So, on to the other part of this series. On Friday. Yes, Friday. I went to go see Annabelle. And Friday afternoon, my buddy's like, oh, hey, I was going to tell you, tonight we're going with my girlfriend and her roommates and a bunch of 20-year-olds to see Annabelle. And I'm like, what? And so that's apparently all she said was like her roommates, and a bunch of 20-year-olds. She didn't specify whether the 20-year-olds were guys, girls, what, just a bunch of them. I was like, huh, this may be the most interesting trip to the movies we've ever had. Does this kill it? Oh no, it doesn't kill it. I was very intrigued, but like I said, one of her roommates is our friend's sister, and the other roommate is apparently attractive as well. So I was like, okay, I'm fine with this. This sounds good. But the designated theater of choice for that night was not our usual one, because we didn't make the plans. If I had made the plans, it would have been all great. But apparently one of her roommates made the plans, and so we went to a theater in a mall. And not a great mall. There has been shootings at this mall, so I was not a big fan of the place. And but I was like, you know what, fine. For the bitches, I'll make the sacrifice. And so I get there at like, they were planning on getting there at 6:45, so me and my buddy are like, let's get there at 6:30, because I know about movies, you know, opening night horror movie, it might be sold out, we want to get there kind of early. So I get there at 6:30 on the dot, because I am always punctual. It's what I do. That is what I do. I don't want to drain you. I want to, yeah, do that. Get there at 6:30. My buddy's like, oh, I'm running late. I'm going to be like 10 minutes late. And I'm like, you're going to make me stand here by myself in this mall? What the hell? He ends up like 15 minutes late as I'm standing there. I got my hand on my wallet the whole time. He gets there. We wait another like 10 minutes or something. Finally, his girlfriend shows up. She shows up with one other girl and one guy. And I'm like, that's not what I wanted at all. I was thinking 5 girls, 2 guys. You brought me 2 guys, 2 girls. That makes me a 5th wheel, man. I don't need that. Was Nazdug who I wanted to kill? No, it's not. So I was a little perturbed. I was perturbed on multiple levels. One, because we were not at my theater of choice, and I'm a bit particular, especially when you bring me here and you make me stand alone for this long. 2, because everyone was really late, and I was worried the movie was going to be sold out, which just pisses me off even more. And then 3, because I was promised multiple women single, and you bring me one that's apparently not. I was a little upset. And so this is a story not of how it usually is, where women are bitches and I am just a victim. This is a story where I'm a bitch. So I was a bit curt, and I will not be ashamed to say such things. I was kind of a dick. My buddy told me later I was. And so, you know, I was just like, you know, I told my buddy's girlfriend she was a moron for being so late and thinking that you can just get tickets 5 minutes before a movie starts. We did, by the way, so I was wrong about that. We definitely did. But, and I didn't say much, and the stuff I did say was not too great. But I didn't care. I was like, whatever. I'm not trying to impress this bitch over here. She's got a boyfriend. And so we get in and we watch the movie. And this movie, I'm not going to really review the movie because I might do that on Admit One. Overall, it was average, I would say. And in general, I think I'm becoming less accepting, perhaps, of movie choices in the horror genre. Yeah, he's invulnerable to stuff. I didn't have much of a choice.
I'll take your skin, yes, please.
The crowd in that movie, the audience, was the worst audience I've ever had for going to a movie. And I'm not going to be ashamed to say it. It's not racist. It's just factual. They were mostly black. And, they were... Man. I'm sure most of you can picture a very stereotypical black audience in a movie theater. Picture exactly that. To the freaking T. Like, they were yelling at the screen. They were, you know... They were shouting out randomly. They were like yelling at their kids. They were climbing over chairs. Still invulnerable to stealth, you piece of shit. That didn't kill him at all. Yeah, they were climbing over chairs. Randomly. It was terrible. Now, my buddy thought it was freaking hilarious. He said it made the movie for him, but he's not a big fan of horror movies, so he just thought it was probably awesome for him. But for me, I like just a very serene, quiet theater with occasional like gasps or like a collective comment. Like when I went to see Inception, and at the end, when everybody, like, right when, you know, it went to black, and there was just a collective fuck from the entire audience. That was amazing. I love that. But throughout the movie, hollering, yelling, nah. We don't need that here. So, yeah, you know, the movie was alright, but that was just, and I was like, when we walked out, I was like, the problem with coming to these types of theaters is you tend to sit around people, the type of people that go to these movie theaters. And it was just like, oh, God. It was not great. And so we were kind of standing around, not even really talking. Like, I gave my review of the movie, of course, because they want to know what I think. But then it was just kind of like awkward shuffling of feet, and I was just like, well, I'm not one for awkward conversations, so I'm out of here. And I just started walking away, but they followed me right away, and I was like, hey. Oh, I'm supposed to be undetected. Oh, mandatory stealth mission, no. And so I just kind of walked out, and then I followed them out of the mall, even though I really shouldn't have, because I wasn't parked anywhere near them. So I ended up walking around the mall for another half an hour trying to find my parking spot again. It was terrible. That was not a great night for me. And then I got lost on my way to Studs' for board game. It was just, anyways. So, last night. Wow. Was he like a special? What was that? What are you? Oh, I think he is a special guy. I'm gonna kick your ass, man. What am I doing? Why am I screwing around? There you go, get on. That's actually not bad. Okay, so last night we go out for drinks. Well, you know, they go out for drinks, whatever. And so my buddy and his girlfriend were there again. And so I say to her, I'm like, so, when do I get to meet your roommates? And she's like, you met one of them, Katie. And I'm like, seriously, I didn't even get her name. Like, I didn't even care to know her name. How freaking chauvinistic am I? Oh, she's got a boyfriend? Fuck her. I don't care about your name. I don't care about your identity as a person. And I'm like, oh. And that was her boyfriend. And she says, no, that was just her friend. And I'm like, fuck. And everything just collided in on itself as I realized what happened. I made a horrible assumption all at once, which just cascaded. And so I was like, man, I wouldn't have been a dick. And my buddy's like, yeah, you were. And I'm like, shit. Because, like, she was cute, and she was really bubbly, and she seemed nice, and she apparently was the one that wanted to go see a horror movie. And I was just an asshole, and now I'm like, oh my god. And I was like, well, you should apologize for me, 'cause that's terrible. I really felt bad, but that's even worse now that I feel bad. I feel bad now because I learned she doesn't have a boy. Like, I'm still a terrible person. But it's like, okay, well, I've accepted I'm a terrible person. Because it's like, a good person would just be nice regardless. But I was upset either way. That is just another layer. You know, I'm not going to really defend myself. I'm a piece of shit. But I was like, I feel bad. You should apologize for me. Because if I would have known she was single, I would have been, well, much more friendly. Yeah, quite a bit more friendly. But, so yeah, we'll see what happens with that. It's an uphill battle now if I ever get to see her again. I mean, she handled it well, I guess. I mean, she didn't seem that off-put, but some people are better at faking it. But I don't know. I'd like to apologize in person. But then if I apologize, it's like, well, I guess I can be like, sorry, I was kind of a, you know, curt, you know. I'm sure I would say something witty and clever on the spot, because that's what I do. But yeah, I'd like to see her again to fix things, because, well, you know, she wasn't ugly. I'm a terrible person. Who raised me? God. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, that's the girl that my friends would prefer I hit on because she's nobody's sister that we know of. But I make no preference. I'm on an uphill battle with this girl now, so it's difficult either way. But yeah, so that was. I'm not gonna defend myself. I'm not gonna try because I know I'm terrible. Men can be bitches. Yeah, I think that might be all the stories I got now, at least for now. Apparently, a bunch of people did come to the movie that night, but they got there really late, and so they had to sit in, like, the front. They couldn't sit with us, and then they walked right out after us, so they were all kind of douchebags. I don't know. I don't care about any of those people. They probably all had boyfriends. Yeah, I think that's about it. My buddy's girlfriend is interesting because she can drink more than most of them. Well, no, that's not true. She can drink casually more than most of them. Like, she just drinks, like, she had like 6 of them. And there was, like, no difference in her personality from when she got there. Literally the only noticeable difference from when she arrived from when she was 6 drinks in was her blouse kept on getting lower and lower. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of a pervert for only noticing that, but really, it was that, and her face got slightly, ever so slightly redder. That was it. Personality-wise, she was the exact same. You wonder about a girl like that, right? Like, maybe she's got, like, a fetish. Well, I mean, of course she's got a fetish, but specifically, like, you know, cam whores, they all have that same fetish. The I like to make a lot of money fetish. What am I talking about? I don't know. I think I've run out of subjects, so this might be a 53-minute video. You can all tell me how terrible of a person I am. Don't be like me, kids. Be a good person. Be nice to attractive girls, regardless. I don't know, I just like playing this game. I should probably just go record the next LP video for this. Yeah, I think we'll end right here. Alright, so, we'll see. I'm fighting, you know, I'm pushing to make some sort of arrangement where I can recompense something with that chick, because I like a challenge. That's why. But, so, hopefully I have more stories next time. At the very least, I'm sure I'll have more board game stuff to discuss next time. But, my name is Mangg. This has been Hanging with Mangg, episode 4. I'll see you guys next week.